Hi everyone, my name is Yannis Paulus. I'm from the University of Michigan Kellogg Eye Center, and I'm a retina specialist there.
Can you tell us about your presentation on a test for monitoring dry AMD?
Yeah, so we're really excited to present today on a new device for monitoring dry macular degeneration. As we all know, macular degeneration is a terrible disease that's increasing with the aging of the population. And one of the biggest difficulties with macular degeneration is catching the diagnosis from dry macular degeneration to wet macular degeneration. We do fortunately have excellent treatments for wet macular degeneration, of which there's exciting new research on new treatments for that. But despite all of this, the majority of vision loss, 80% of vision loss in macular degeneration, is actually associated with this conversion from dry to wet macular degeneration. So it's imperative, as many of you already know, that we catch these patients as early as possible so that we can initiate treatment. One of the biggest difficulties currently is most patients currently are screened with the Amcular grid. And the Amcular grid is really insufficient for screening. It has very low sensitivity and very unlikely to catch patients at the earliest stages of this conversion from dry to wet macular degeneration. So what we did was we actually developed a novel device that's a monocular device that we call kaleidoscope that uses shape discrimination hyperacuity to try to determine when patients convert from dry to wet macular degeneration. It's an easy-to-use device that patients can hold and presents them with a series of circle-like images. And what it utilizes is the ability of humans and patients for determining distortions in shapes such as circles, and they're far more sensitive to that than other methods of determining that. So this was the first clinical trial using this device. And what we did was we performed an evaluation on 30 patients. 31 patients initially were enrolled, and 1 patient voluntarily withdrew. And we evaluated how the patients found this device. This was the first of its kind, so it's a very early clinical trial assessing that. We had a IRB review at the University of Michigan and got approval for that. And then what we conducted was a series of opportunities for patients with macular degeneration to use this device. We assessed how long it took them to actually take the test, and then we had them do a battery of different tests to see what they thought about the device. The key take-home messages was that the device took slightly over 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 6 seconds for patients to complete this testing. And then what we actually found is that by far the majority of patients, 97% of patients, actually found the device very comfortable, and 97% also found the device very easy to use. And those are the key take-home messages, which is the device is easy to use, inherently monocular, quickly can screen for patients, and we had no patients excluded, and it really was a remarkable study, the first of its type, that we're very excited by. So we're really trying this preliminary data to now enter a larger clinical trial to evaluate this and actually determine if it can change visual outcomes on this conversion from dry to wet macular degeneration.
When approved, is this going to be a device and test that patients can do from home, or will this be an additional test done in an office?
Yeah, so in our initial clinical study of 30 patients, we actually administered this when patients were coming with dry macular degeneration to the clinic to see their retina specialist and evaluate them. The ultimate goal for this, however, would be to make an affordable device that patients can take home and can administer themselves at home to determine that threshold of when they convert from dry to wet macular degeneration. And it's a device where we actually 3D printed the shell. It's very inexpensive to use. It would be something that patients would be given when they're given the diagnosis of intermediate dry macular degeneration and would be taking themselves at home.
When the patient does the test at home, does the device notify the patient to see a doctor?
Yeah, so patients, absolutely, we would not put it on them to make this determination themselves. So the device actually will track patients, how their scores are over time, and then if there's a serious decline or change in their score, we then actually alert the patient that they need to contact their physician to actually get seen and see if there's a change going on there. And that determination is something that would not fall on the patient to make that determination. Actually, it will be built into the device, and we have that operating capacity in the device itself to make that determination.
The trial that you're doing now, is it only being done through your clinic, or is there a way patients can get involved in this study?
The current trial that we conducted is a single site, so that was at the University of Michigan Kellogg Eye Center. As we move forward, we're planning a multi-center site, and so that would be something that we would hope to do at numerous sites and collaborate with numerous other clinics in order to do a multi-center clinical trial where we evaluate this. So you can absolutely reach out to me. My email address is ypaulus@med.umich.edu, and you can also look at my website too. And my website is also provided here at paulus.lab.medicine.umich.edu. And I would love to collaborate with you if you're interested in being a site for this trial, because obviously macular degeneration is a terrible disease, and we really need better ways to monitor patients in a quick, easy, affordable manner, which I hope is what this device will turn out to be. And thank you very much for watching.